Hi.
How are you doing? What's
Good. Hey, how
happening?
are you? Are you girls ready, or are you ready to talk about your worst first date?
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Do you think?
Yeah.
I got one though.
yeah.
I got one.
You go. You
I
can
got
go
one.
yours
You
first,
got one?
cousin.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I can tell this story every day.
Okay. Okay.
I'm fixing my throat.
Perfect.
I won't be able to stay long.
Okay. Perfect. Where did you go on this date? What state? What city? How old were both of you? And where did you meet this person?
Okay. So it was in Los Angeles, California. We're both in our 30s, like right around the same age. Like I'm 38, so he's like right around 37, 38.
Mm-hmm.
We met downtown Atlanta, LA,
Okay.
which is part of the reason that it was the worst first date. Y'all got me on here. Look, I wasn't ready for this, but because I heard men being here, so excuse me, guys. But I heard like LA is a really tricky place, right? So when I met him, chose to meet up at Perch, which is a spot downtown. It's like a rooftop. It's really nice, right? So spoke on the phone maybe a couple of times before this initial date, and it was really cool. He said he had a job. He said he was in aviation. He sounded very mature and ready. You know, I have a business. We talk business. It seemed very like legit. Girl, we got the Perch, and it was like around happy hour, and I've been there before. But I noticed he was like asking the waitress questions like slide, like how much is happy hour, or how much is this and how much is that. And he was really whispering, so I couldn't. It wasn't a place for me to like actually question it just yet. I was like, let me just see how this flows. Maybe it's something I don't know, you know. And I'm a very like chill, open person, so I'm not like, oh my god, it just was kind of odd. So we order food. I remember I had the Brussels sprouts. The reason why I remember the Brussels sprouts is because that's when my stomach just stopped. The waiter comes over with the check. We had food, and I was like, "Let me get some Brussels sprouts to go." And the waitress was like, "Okay, well here's the check and things like that." And I think the total was like right around like $219, something like that. And he looks me dead in my eye, and he's like, "I only have $110 on me." And I said, Sir, you are putting me in a very bad predicament. You know, in my head, I'm like, this is a lot because one, I'm not a gold digger, however, like the stigma people may see. I understand the game, but this ordered all this stuff. He ordered a bottle. He ordered a bottle of champagne. I don't really drink during the week because I try to work out. You know,
He ordered a bottle of champagne for
he
the
ordered a bottle.
table.
Not even me, and I didn't even drink the bottle of champagne because I've been going to the gym doing my thing during the week, and I was like, I was not really with it. So he ordered a shot of tequila. I had Brussels sprouts, and I think I had some salmon. He had like the man, he racked up the bill. Sir, I was like, well, what are you gonna do? Cause it looked like you in a dilemma. I'm about to go though. I'm like, I'm on my way out. And this man says to me, I work at the airport. How much money did you expect? I said, you said you was in aviation.
What?
Not TSA. Now you TSA? Like, do you not know? Sir.
No way.
You volunteered
No
that
way.
life. That's
No
to be
way.
here. Like, I got a
We're thinking
business.
he's the pilot of the plane.
He said he was in aviation, mama. I remember that because I thought that was really cool. You know, I'm about to start asking about 2 wings, 1 wing, like my girl was telling me what to say. TSA. And I'm like, but you sat here and ordered all this stuff, sir. Now he's like, y'all, he tried to, is it Moonlight? When they, Gaslight.
Oh yeah, gaslight.
See, that's what I don't like about women in LA. You know, a good brother like me, sir. I'm not even about to stay here for this. Again, I'm gonna go. I pray all is well. Thank you so much for these Brussels sprouts. I hope you get home safe. So I got up to leave, and he got up and ran to the bathroom. So the waiter comes over, and he was like, "One of y'all have to be at the table."
As you got up out of your seat, he got up out of his seat.
I went left.
And
This nigga went right. He was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Oh, I'm about to go." And I looked back. He said, "Well, he's not at the table." I said, "That's none of my business." This man went to the bathroom. I purchased like one way in, one way out. So it's not like he really about to go far, but he goes in there and he says that he had a stomach virus. He couldn't come out the bathroom. Y'all, I'm not making this up. You can probably even look it up on YouTube somewhere. They called the ambulance.
for $200.
This is at Perch downtown LA. My boy still works valet because he saw the whole shit unfold. I said, I'm just trying to get home.
Wait. For $200.
Dude, it was like
He faked a
$218.
stomach virus.
Baby, he drunk some of that toilet juice because he was in there. They said he was in there sick, throwing up. He said he had stomach illness. Y'all, he wouldn't give them their name. They was like, what's his name? I said, I don't know him. I don't know his blood type. I don't know nothing about him. He's not in aviation, y'all. That's all I know. I'm ready to go. I would have a drive-by dinner at this point. I have Brussels sprouts. I have audience for Brussels sprouts. And so the ambulance comes, guys. The actual ambulance shows up. They're asking me about him. I said, y'all, it was the first day.
With a stretcher? Did they pull out the stretcher?
He came out on the breathing machine. The man.
No.
He got
No. So you mean to tell me he literally staged all of
He
it?
staged all of it. And I told the ambulance guy, I said, Playboy, come here, let me holler at you. I said, listen, he's playing. He's not sick. I was like, he's not sick. He was like, well, man, I was like, I'm just letting you know, can I go home? They was like, no, we need you to stay right here. Stretch you with the thing, and they got a blanket on him, and he's like, they take him to the hallway. They take him in the hallway because it's like on a rooftop, so they had to shut the elevator down for the man. Okay, that means people trying to come eat, they waiting, and they're asking me about this man, and the only thing I can say is he's not in aviation. Like, I don't want the bill, I don't want anything. I'm just trying to go. And the ballet driver, I told him the whole story, and he was like, well, I'm just gonna let you sneak out the back because they were gonna ask me to pay the bill. They were having me sitting waiting. The man faked the whole thing. Then he texted me the next day, thanks for checking on me, I'm just fine. So that was my first day ever. And my name is Judea Antoinette, and it was so nice meeting you.
Where was this? Where you located when you went on this date?
Oh, it was in North Carolina, Raleigh.
You were 30, he was 34, and this was in North Carolina.
Yes.
And this was a first date.
Yes.
Okay, so you can tell the story.
Okay, this was my first date, my first ever date. I recently just moved to America, right? So when I used to hear about dates, looking at the movies and everything, I used to be like, okay, let's go try out this date and see what it's like. So this guy was my Uber driver. He drove me, he carried me coincidentally for like 2 different times. And then we started talking, and then he was like, let me take you on a date.
Hold on, Eva. So you met him through Uber. So
Yeah.
you got into Uber one day and you guys were chatting, flirting, you exchanged numbers.
Yes. Then he said, let's go for a date. Oh, I said, okay, no problem. I dressed up, and then he picks me up. He picks me up, and then he's like, do I mind? He wants to do a delivery for somebody first. And I'm like, okay, no problem. We start driving, and then he's like, if he goes the delivery, where he's going to go for the date it's like 2 different directions. So he's just going to cancel the delivery, and then we go to where we are going to. I said, isn't the person going to get sad that the person is waiting for the food and then you're not bringing the person's food? He said, no, don't bother. He will just put it on Uber that they gave wrong something. I don't know. He said wrong something. So he takes me to this isolated area. It was like in the forest. I kept asking myself, where am I going? Normally on a date, you take someone to the restaurant, nice places to go drink or something. And he's taking me to go see this very beautiful lake. So
what time is this that you guys are driving into a forest towards a lake for your first date?
it was around between 3:30 and 4 p.m.
So you're driving into the forest on your first date towards the lake. And then what happens?
He parks the car. There are other cars there, like other people parked around there. We have lakes in my country, but they're too far. I haven't been to any lake, so let me go and see. Maybe it's romantic kind of something. And this guy is Muslim, so he takes out his I don't know, the mat there, something like a cloth. He takes it out, and then he takes out that food that he was supposed to go deliver, and then he takes out 2 bottles of water. He takes out 2 bottles of water. I'm like, poor me. Well, I kept going. I was we had to walk from where we parked the car. We had to walk for like 15 minutes to get to the lake. And then when we go to the lake, he doesn't go where everybody is going. He goes to look for this very isolated area in the lake.
Eva, no.
I've suffered in this life. I'm telling you, I have suffered.
Eva, he did not take the food. He was supposed to deliver. He did not, Eva. There's no way. You guys, y'all can't come up with these stories. I'm already overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed already.
So he took me to this very isolated area. He put the mats down on the grass, and then we sat there, and he was like, well, since he didn't deliver the food, do I want the food? Do I want the food? I said, no, I don't want the food. So we started to talk. Since I do hair, right? So I was standing on my feet, and then I usually stand on my feet for a very long time to braid. So he noticed that I constantly kept stretching, and then I was like, he's like, what's happening? I said, no, my waist just hurts a little bit. And then he says, okay, you lie down? Let me give you a back massage or something. And a back massage. He's like, yeah, just to help you massage your back a little bit since it hurt.
Now we're at the point where you guys, hold on. You guys make it to this park. You guys set up the picnic area. And now you're telling him your back aches. You don't want the canceled Uber Eats order. And now you're laying down and he's about to give you a massage. That's
Yes.
where we are with the story,
Yes.
right?
The massage won't hurt. It's just a massage. He's like massaging my waist, and then I start feeling somebody's hand going into my bum bum, as they call it. I start feeling someone's hands going into my bum bum, and I'm like, oh no, stop. Then he continues, right? And I'm like, stop, stop. And then I start to scream. So he noticed that I was screaming, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought we were on the same page." I said, "How do you mean we were on the same page?" He was like, "Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought when you met, the massage and this." In short, I wasn't listening anymore. I was walking and going, and then he walks beside me, and then he's walking beside me. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going." He's apologizing, and then he's telling me, "Okay, it will never happen again. Let me just get in the car and let him drop me home." This is me in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know where
And
I don't even know where
technically,
I
like
am.
All Beauty said, you were sexually assaulted, technically. Because
Yes,
that was without your consent.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I was in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I was. And then I just started walking. I didn't know if I should cry or if I should not take the ride. If I don't take the ride, at this time, this was like 5:30. Everybody had left the area. I just kept walking. When we walked to where the car was parked, I got into the car. And then when I got into the car, this guy started talking. He was like, "Why did you come here in the first place? If you didn't want to, if you knew that you..." This guy definitely has problems. This is someone that has issues. This is someone that has issues. And when he was talking, I did not say a word. Because it was like, if I say a word, then you saw him getting red. You know how the white people, he was like Turkish. You know how the white people, when they start showing certain kind of emotions, they see like, you start seeing their faces becoming reddish, yeah. So his face started becoming red. He was so red. I was like, is it the same person that was apologizing? Because he told me a story that he used to take drugs and he stopped. He doesn't do it anymore. So he's like, he has stopped taking the drugs. I just kept quiet throughout. Whatever he said, I swear I didn't utter a word until dropping me off at my house. He said, "Oh, I guess this is goodbye then." I said, "Okay." Okay, because I just said, okay. Then he said, okay, then let me give you a hug. I said, no, don't bother. I just hurriedly got out of the car and I left. I just like blocked from every other angle.
Let me say this, Eva. Let me ask you this. What is one thing, like in short, that you learned from that dating experience that you can tell other ladies right now?
Sometimes you should take your time to know people without even necessarily going out with them. Try to hold conversation, ask important questions. They will still lie to you. They will tell you lies and they will tell you stuff, but no matter how they lie, there will be something that will be fishy if you want to really know what is happening. That is what I took from there. Don't ignore the red flags from the beginning, because the fact that this guy did not go to deliver that food and then he was willing to cancel the delivery, that was a red flag for me, because that is not the kind of person that will keep to his words or is honest about his work. Do not go to any, like, for example, getting into that place, like seeing where I was going. I didn't feel comfortable, but I still went. So is the risk, sometimes the risk is not worth it.
So another lesson would be not to go against your intuition.
Yes. And
I
sometimes
agree.
desperation should not just let you go be with anybody or talk to anybody because you are in a desperate situation. You want to get married, you want to achieve this, or you want to do that. Nah.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much, Eva, for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I know we laughed a little bit at the beginning, but towards the end, I mean, I would say never again. This is to all the Evas watching.
Never.
Never again take a date in the forest, unless that's your husband and y'all going to a lake, you know. But
Your husband can
I
still
wouldn't do
you.
that. Okay. Thank you, Eva, for coming up.
Thank you.
Bye bye.